Hello, everyone. Twin here again, back to bring you another guide. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between FBA and FBM, and when, in certain circumstances, you may want to lean on one or the other. So, just a brief background of what FBA and FBM stand for. FBA is fulfilled by Amazon, and FBM is fulfilled by merchant. FBA is what a lot of our group and guides cater around. It's tapping into the value that Amazon brings you, both as a facilitator to use their warehouses and their customer service and on their shipping, but also allows you to get slightly higher margins and slightly better pricing. FBM is, again, more fulfilled by merchant, which ultimately means very similar to the experience that you may have selling on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, or any of these other platforms. You're simply using Amazon as a marketplace to list your products the same way you would FBA on the listing that already exists. But instead of Amazon handling customer service and shipping, you would pack up the product at your house and ship it out directly to the customer. So you do save on some fees up front that Amazon's not charging you, but you do, of course, have to pay for that shipping to get to the customer. You have to handle any returns directly with that customer, and you often don't get as high of a price as if you want the FBA route. But we'll explore that a little bit today. So jumping right in, there are a couple major reasons why you may want to lean towards FBA for the majority of your products. One of them being the Prime bump. And what we mean by that is by offering a product with Prime shipping, so guaranteed delivery in 2 days, no hassle returns, all of those bells and whistles, you're able to offer or get a slightly higher price or a premium for that same product. So as you can see on the screen, was the identical products. I took these pictures the same day within minutes apart. On the left, you see the lowest new listing for FBM. So that person is shipping it directly from their house or warehouse. You can tell this because it says ships from Ease Shopping. And the right is FBA. So Stephanie Superstore is a seller, but she is shipping it from Amazon.com, which means she shipped this product first to Amazon. They're storing it. They're going to ship it out to the customer. She also has that handy Prime badge, whereas e-shopping does not. So right off the bat, again, same product, same experience, sort of, except on the left, they're asking $40. On the right, they're asking $79. That is a substantial difference, almost double the price, just by offering it Prime. Now, the general Prime bump is going to be anywhere from like 20 to 35% higher. This one, of course, is a little bit of an outlier in how much of that bump you're getting. But regardless, this is something you'll see consistently across listings. And again, another value of why FBA, while there's more fees, may actually bring you more money in your pocket. So we can dig a little bit deeper into this example. So let's look at the fees specifically on that product we just saw. So at the top, you can see the item price. That's what we're selling it for. You have the Amazon fee section. So you can see Amazon fulfillment is $11.84 in fees, whereas your fulfillment, which is FBM, is $5.95. Fulfillment costs, there's no cost that you have to allow for in here to ship it to Amazon. Generally speaking, we average about 50 cents a pound to ship products to Amazon's warehouse. So this thing is probably about 50 cents. I would imagine it's no more than a pound, maybe a pound and a half. So 50 to 75 cents to get it to Amazon's warehouse. Whereas FBM, it's $9. I averaged it. It's probably going to cost priority to get it to the seller or get to the buyer, I should say, FBM. So total fulfillment costs, you have $9 FBM, and then to fulfill by Amazon fees, that's the fee that Amazon charges you to ship it to the customer, to pack it up, to handle customer service. They're charging $17.76 in this case. That fee is dependent on the item size and weight, so that will fluctuate. There's no, hey, it's going to be 30% always. It's very much dependent on the product. And the more expensive your product gets, it scales like lower. So if you were selling a $10 product, you might see 40% in fees. If you're selling a $100 product, you might see 20% in fees, because the more expensive it is, it doesn't scale with the price, it scales with the product itself. So overall, we can kind of scroll to the bottom, seller proceeds. Now, this big difference is just based on the price that we're getting, because we're going to be able to get $79 versus $40. The cost of the product is the same, $20 across. We're net profit here, right, is $28 FBA, $4.74 FBM. So this one's kind of a no-brainer as far as where you might want to send it. But it's important to kind of do these calculations occasionally if you're on the fence of deciding if you want to do FBA, FBM. Again, I think as you get into the swing of things, FBA is just going to be a bit easier for you. Another upside, obviously, that isn't listed here is the fact that the FBM seller had to store this product at their house. So if you're shipping out of your apartment, house, whatever, most of us don't have a warehouse. It's going to sit in the basement, sit in the extra room, sit in your living room. It's going to take up room for other products. So yeah, in this example, FBA wins the day because of that prime bump. But let's look at some other reasons why you might have to decide. So this slide is talking about the holiday season. So this is one of the times of the year, and we're really kind of talking about Q4. So right around Black Friday, so like mid-November, all the way through essentially Christmas, right through the New Year. You get these surges of pricing, and you get these surges of hot items. So it could be toys, it could be electronics, but these items hit the market and they're just gone immediately. This is an incredibly crucial time where FBM can make you a lot of money, because let's say you find a product on Black Friday that you get for $20, it's selling for $200 everywhere. There's 10 sellers on the listing. This thing is just, getting eaten up. If you choose FBA, which you absolutely can do, you have to wait for that product to get checked into the fulfillment center, processed, and then ultimately eligible to ship to the customer. Normally speaking, depending on fulfillment center, this can take during non-holiday rush anywhere from a week to 6 weeks. During the holiday season, everything gets slower. There's just a lot more product going into the centers. It slows everything down. So you're looking at a fairly substantial wait time. And by the time your product gets checked in, processed, and ready to ship, you could have kind of passed that peak price, because you're not alone in buying that product. Dozens and dozens of other people are already purchasing it and trying to sell it too. The price goes down, it tanks a little bit with all the competition. FBM, on the other hand, if you get that product, you can list it that day on the seller app. Very, very easy to do, and have it available to ship next day just by going to your post office. So while you might be able to get a little bit more money, FBA, the reality is you're going to miss that peak selling season by sending it in. This isn't always the case, but it's definitely worth thinking about during, again, the holiday season time, and really where FBM comes into play for a lot of sellers. All right, up next we have those hype items, right? You can see some examples here. When this video was created, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, so we have, lately we've had some weights, we've had sewing machines last year, we had a Nintendo Switch. There's lots of different products that kind of hit their phases and just peaked out. Swimming pools and heaters and all of those interesting things that are trending. These, similar to the seasonal time, have a window of opportunity. So if you can kind of tap into that window of when prices are high, FBM is still going to be a potential solution for you outside of FBA, just because you can get that product out faster, and you can, again, take advantage of that window where there's not a ton of sellers, but there's a lot of buyers. Something like the weights, where it's super heavy, that also can be really beneficial to do FBM. The tanks or the pool heaters or all of those things, or the patio heaters. Again, another thing, they're kind of big and bulky. FBM can be helpful just with shipping. Getting it to Amazon can be a little more tedious with those. I have seen it done many times, and it can still be very valuable and very profitable. But these moments are when you really want to start considering FBM. Again, most of the time, 99% of the year, FBA is generally going to make you a little bit more money. But again, these trending or hype moments, similar to seasonal, you definitely have to look at the economics of it all. And then we have small and light. So these are products that, like cassettes, video games, certain clothing, things that are just super easy to ship, very, very small, very easy to store. These are things you might want to consider just listing FBM, because they're not going to have an incredibly different fee structure. They're not, it's not going to take up a ton of room in your house. And they might be slightly slower sellers, so you don't want to send in a ton of inventory right at the beginning and have it sit there and kind of elapse storage fees. So if you're going to consider doing anything FBM long term, it would be products that were like this, kind of small and easy to manage. But otherwise, again, your normal product, your normal, I don't have a product sitting here, unfortunately, but your normal toy, your normal electronic, your normal box of shoes, those kind of things, generally speaking, are going to get you a little bit more money FBA. Going to get it out of your house, and you're going to tap into what Amazon can offer with their customer service, their returns, their shipping, which is definitely easier than you shipping. So this guide was an example of how to compare the two. But as a reminder, the majority of these are going to push you slightly towards FBA just for the ease and the profitability of it. So again, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please do not hesitate to open a ticket, schedule a one-on-one call, go into chat. We'd love to hear from you. You'll see some more details on some of these things in later guides, but I hope this gives you a good idea of, as you're thinking of products, kind of comparing the different ways of shipping them and getting profit from them. So thanks again, guys. This is Twin. I'll see you later.